Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to break down one of the most hyped up and honestly one of the most controversial drones to come out in years, the DJI Mavic 3 Pro. Now, on paper, this thing seems to have it all. You've got this game-changing triple camera system, you've got pro-level features, and you've got that legendary Hasselblad name stamped right on the front. But, as we're about to find out, the spec sheet really doesn't tell the full story. So our mission today is to figure out if this is the absolute dream drone it's cracked up to be, or just a really, really expensive mistake. Let's get into it. So right here, this image just gets to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? On one hand, you have this beautifully engineered piece of tech that promises to take your filmmaking to the next level. But on the other hand, you've got a price tag that's over $2,000. And that is a serious chunk of change for anybody, whether you're a hobbyist or a professional who does this for a living. And making the wrong call here isn't just a bummer, it's a mistake that really hurts the wallet. So our job in this explainer is to pull this drone apart piece by piece so you have the clarity to decide if it's the right tool for you or if that money is way better spent somewhere else.
All right, let's dive into our first section, and we're starting with the main event. This is the headline feature, right? The number one reason this drone got everybody so excited. Its revolutionary triple camera system. I mean, the promise is incredible. You get 3 completely different focal lengths in one little package. It's like having a whole bag of prime lenses flying through the sky. This is what sets it apart from everything else, so let's really dig in and see if the reality actually lives up to the hype.
Now, what's so clever here is the power of branding. You can see it right there. DJI puts that iconic Hasselblad name right below the 3 lenses. And for anyone who knows anything about cameras, that name just screams quality, you know? It's genius marketing, really, because it immediately makes you assume something powerful, that you were getting 3 top-of-the-line premium lenses, all built to those legendary Hasselblad standards. But this is exactly where a lot of people make their first and probably biggest mistake. They assume all 3 of those cameras are created equal. Okay, so this slide right here lays out the hard truth. The assumption, thanks to that clever marketing, is that you get 3 cameras of equal, amazing quality. But the reality is, only the main 24mm wide-angle camera has that big, beautiful 4/3 CMOS sensor that gives you that famous Hasselblad color and quality. So why does that even matter? Well, think of it this way. A bigger sensor is like having a bigger bucket to catch light and color. It just captures more information, which means cleaner images, way better performance when it gets dark, and much richer colors. The other 2 telephoto lenses, they use much, much smaller sensors. And for a pro who needs consistency, that difference is everything. Let's just look at the raw specs for a second. That main 24mm sensor, it's truly magnificent. It captures incredible dynamic range, you know, the ability to see details in the super bright parts and the super dark parts of your shot, and just beautiful, nuanced color. But look at what happens when you switch. You go to the 70mm telephoto, and you drop way down to a much smaller 1/1.3-inch sensor. Then you punch all the way into 166mm, and it's an even tinier 1/2-inch sensor. This massive difference in hardware means you get a really noticeable difference in the final image, especially in how each sensor sees and records color. And this is where the rubber meets the road. This is the real-world consequence. Because the color science from those different sensors doesn't match up, a professional editor is left with a massive headache. Just imagine this. You're editing a sequence. Your wide shot from the main camera has this beautiful, rich blue sky. But then you cut to your telephoto shot from the smaller sensor, and suddenly the sky's a little bit greener, or maybe more cyan. Now you have to spend hours, literally hours, in your editing software, tweaking and pulling colors, trying to get them to match perfectly. That extra work, that frustration, that's what we call the hidden tax of the Mavic 3 Pro. It's a cost in time and energy that you're never going to see on the price tag. So to quickly recap this first section, the main takeaway is that while that triple camera system sounds amazing, it's really complicated by the fact that the sensors aren't the same quality, and this creates a huge color matching problem in post-production, which for any professional is a major, major drawback. Okay, let's move on to our second section. Because believe it or not, the camera system isn't the only place where there are trade-offs. We're now going to look at the hidden compromises, the real-world, practical stuff that you are definitely not going to find in any of the glossy ads. Let's start with this number right here, 958 grams. Now, that might not seem like a lot, but in the world of drones, that specific weight is a massive problem. And here's why that number is such a big deal. In a lot of places around the world, aviation authorities have different rules for different weight classes of drones. Drones under 250 grams get the most freedom, but once you go over 900 grams, you often fall into a much more restricted, professional category. And by tipping the scales at 958 grams, the Mavic 3 Pro puts you right into that world of stricter rules. You can't just throw it up in the air wherever you want. It's also just bigger and harder to carry around, and it's loud. People have literally said it sounds like a swarm of angry bees, which makes flying under the radar basically impossible. This is not the drone you casually fly in a park.
All right, now for our next critical number, $600. And no, that's not the price of the drone. That's the potential price of one very common, very small mistake.
That $600 is about what it costs to fix the gimbal. That's the super delicate motorized thingy that keeps the camera stable. And here's the problem. That huge, heavy triple camera on the front makes the whole drone very front heavy. This means that even a slightly rough landing, the kind of landing that other drones would just shrug off, can be enough to break the gimbal. This design choice makes the drone incredibly fragile for what it costs, and it means you're flying with a pretty big financial risk every single time you take off.
And here's another compromise, the transmission tech. You know, the system that beams the live video from the drone down to your controller. The Mavic 3 Pro uses DJI's older O3 Plus system. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still pretty good, but it is starting to show its age, especially if you're flying in a city where there's tons of interference from stuff like 5G signals. You can get video stutter or even lose your signal completely. Meanwhile, newer and often cheaper DJI drones, like the Air 3S, are using the newer, more robust O4 system. It's just a more stable, more reliable connection that gives you a lot more confidence when you're flying.
So our recap for this section is pretty straightforward. On top of the camera issues, the Mavic 3 Pro's weight, its fragile gimbal, and its older tech create all these hidden compromises that affect the rules you have to follow, your bank account, and just your overall experience of flying the drone. Okay, so we have been pretty tough on this drone so far, and for good reason. It sounds kind of bad, right? But it is not all bad news. We're about to shift gears completely and focus on the one feature that might just make up for all of those flaws. For a very specific person, this right here is the drone's secret weapon. It's its whole reason for being. And that secret weapon is the 70mm medium telephoto lens. As the SLAD says, it's the parallax king. So what on earth does that mean? Well, the fancy term for it is focal compression. It's this cool optical illusion where a longer lens makes the background seem way closer and bigger behind your subject. You've seen this a million times in movies, right? A car is driving down a road and the mountains behind it look absolutely massive, just towering over it. That's focal compression. And this 70mm lens is what lets you get that very specific, very cinematic look. And this is the key. For a certain kind of filmmaker, I'm talking about someone shooting car commercials or high-end travel shows or epic landscape documentaries, this one lens can be worth the drone's entire price tag. It lets you get shots that are physically impossible to get with the wide-angle lenses on most other drones. It is a unique visual tool that can seriously elevate the production value of your work and make it look so much more professional and cinematic. So to wrap this section up, the big takeaway here is that even with all its problems, the unique cinematic look you can get from that 70mm telephoto lens is the drone's single most powerful feature. And for a very niche user, it's the main reason this drone even exists. Okay, so now that we understand the Mavic 3 Pro's one big strength, let's put it into context. In this section, we're going to compare it to what is, for almost everybody, a much, much smarter alternative. I mean, this chart really says it all, doesn't it? When you look at who's actually buying and using these things, the Mavic 3 Pro is the right choice for a tiny slice of the market, that 10% of super high-end professionals. For the other 90% of people, and that's everyone from serious hobbyists and YouTubers to real estate photographers and most content creators, the DJI Air 3S is just a more logical and frankly a better choice. Let's just break it down side by side with this table. First off, price. The Air 3S is roughly half the cost. It's got the newer, more reliable O4 transmission system we just talked about. Really, the main advantage the Mavic 3 Pro has is that it can record in the professional ProRes video format. This is a special file type that holds a ton of color information, which gives pro colorists the most flexibility when they're editing. But here's the thing, if your clients aren't demanding that you deliver in ProRes, then the Air 3S just gives you better value and more modern tech for way less money. So to recap this comparison, for the huge majority of people out there, the lighter, cheaper Air 3S with its better transmission tech is simply the smarter and more practical drone to buy. Period. Okay, let's bring it all home in our final section. We're going to give you a clear final verdict, and then for anyone who does decide to buy it, I'm going to share 2 absolutely critical tips to help you avoid a disaster. All right, so let's get to the final verdict. Who should actually buy this drone? Our conclusion is crystal clear. You should only even consider the Mavic 3 Pro if you can confidently say yes to all 3 of these things. 1. You are a working professional and your clients require you to deliver your final video in 5.1K. 2. Your contracts specifically demand that you shoot in the ProRes codec for its color grading potential. And 3. That unique 70mm compressed cinematic look is a non-negotiable, essential part of your filmmaking style. If you don't need all 3 of those things, this drone is almost certainly overkill, and your money is much better spent elsewhere. Now, if you checked all 3 of those boxes, and this drone is for you, listen up, because this is important. Here are 2 critical rules you have to follow to protect that investment. Rule number 1, use only the official DJI filters or very lightweight approved third-party filters. Cheaper, heavier filters put way too much strain on that front heavy gimbal, which can cause the motors to overheat and literally burn out, landing you with that $600 repair bill. Rule number 2, always calibrate the drone's compass on a natural surface, like grass or wood. Never do it near big metal objects like a car or on reinforced concrete. That metal can confuse the drone's brain and lead to a catastrophic flyaway, where it just loses its connection and flies off into the sunset on its own. So to summarize everything we've talked about today, the DJI Mavic 3 Pro is a really powerful but also a deeply flawed drone that's built for a very, very specific niche audience. Its impressive pro features are canceled out by hidden costs in your editing workflow, a fragile design, and a bunch of restrictive regulations. And all of that makes the cheaper, more modern Air 3S a much better and smarter choice for the vast majority of drone pilots out there.
Okay, that covers our main analysis. Now, to help make sure all these key ideas really stick, let's just run through a quick revision quiz to test what you've learned.
I'll read out the 5 questions and feel free to pause and think about the answers. Number 1, what is the hidden tax that comes with that triple camera system? Number 2, what is the critical weight of the Mavic 3 Pro that gets it into trouble with regulations? Number 3, which specific lens is considered the drone's secret weapon? Number 4, for most users, which drone is the smarter purchase? And finally, number 5, what is one huge calibration mistake that can cause a flyaway? And that brings us to our final thought for the day. And honestly, this applies to so much more than just this one drone. As you're looking at any high-end piece of tech, you have to ask yourself this critical question. Are you really paying for a tool that's going to solve a problem and make your work better? Or are you just paying a premium for a pro label that you're never actually going to use? Answering that question honestly is the key to making much smarter choices.